I swear, you guys didn't listen to me when I was telling you. I was saying that this is a stand, like favorites only. This is completely opinion based. You guys don't have to go off of what I've ever said, like my favorite stands video, and just go do this for me or something like that. That's just no, because some of these results are extremely too good to be true for me. Well, I guess personally, but a lot of these stands being this far up and just seeing how other people share an interest in them, I'm actually amazed too, though. So I'm going to be going over both the results and the bracket, but specifically on the bracket first at the moment. So just looking at this, so we're gonna look at through all the stands and how their ride got here and all that. So for just think about this on Star Platinum alone, he had to go through Tower of Grey, that's easy. Yellow Temperance, easy. Then Geb. The Star Platinum actually canonically fought all of these, and then it ended up being Star Platinum versus Silver Chariot. Then after that, progressing through, that became Star Platinum versus Killer Queen, and Killer Queen won, which I'm not surprised on, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people do like Killer Queen too. And Killer Queen shares my favorites between it's right now for me, my favorite stands of all time. It's always been Gold Experience / Gold Experience Requiem versus Killer Queen, and all forms of Killer Queen possible, like everything that comes with it, because they're both extremely cool. But checking this all out, it's amazed me with how far a lot of these things have gone. For certain things like Mikitaka versus Hierophant Green, people actually put Hierophant Green over. So I guess, I mean, there's a good amount of people that do care for a lot of the other stands that you wouldn't think that a lot of people would care for. Like, for example, Kakyoin. I feel like a lot of people care about Kakyoin, but not really Hierophant Green. That's just something I've always had in the back of my head. I'm just like, do people really care for Hierophant Green that much, aside from the Emerald Splash and how Kakyoin says it? But apparently so. The stands like the hand actually made through, so I'm guessing that, yeah, people like the hand for what it is and not focusing on Okuyasu, who sometimes misuses it, or a lot of the times. Black Sabbath, I feel like Black Sabbath could have had a better chance, but because I really do like Black Sabbath. But you had Horus, which is, it's so unfortunate to see all of my favorite stands just going against each other like that, because Horus had to go against Justice, and that for me, I'm just, oh, that hurts my heart. I'm like, no, please no. And then you have Horus versus the hand, and I'm not really that huge of a fan of the hand, but that went ahead and that happened. For the world, that area of the world was pretty easy in my opinion, I guess, for him, because not that many people would actually care for stands like Hanged Man or Anubis, because the world kind of just ran through it pretty easily. Along with the world, so did Echoes, but Echoes was drawn to a very swift and by the world, which it's not exactly crazy. I'm not exactly surprised, but personally, if I was to say, if I was supposed to choose between Echoes or the world, I'm definitely picking Echoes. I understand the design of the world, that the whole gears and controlling the gears of time and all that. It's great. But I don't know, I've grown to just like Echoes so much. Then after that, we have the final area of the first stand bracket. You have all these top tiers. For one to just bring this up, it's Crazy Diamond going through. And Crazy Diamond had gone against a lot of these other stands, but they didn't really hold that much matches for him. I mean, they didn't really hold a chance against him, especially when you had Heaven's Door being along the sides and taking out a good amount of these other stands. Heaven's Door being the stand to take out Purple Haze, which I'm not surprised on, but if I was to compare a design, or altogether, I think, I don't know, personally I do like Purple Haze more than I would Heaven's Door. But if it was supposed to be a fight, then yeah, of course, Heaven's Door is gonna win. But that all in itself is pretty interesting. But now after that, you have over here Sticky Fingers, and after that progresses through Sticky Fingers versus Cream, which was odd. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Cream to get at least that far. Cream did well. Well, it took out Joseph and Hermit Purple. Took out Aerosmith, and it got pretty far up there. And I'm pretty interested on the whole Sticky Fingers versus Crazy Diamond thing, because personally I thought it was favoring into Sticky Fingers, but I'm pretty sure that screenshot of Crazy Diamond alone was probably boosting Crazy Diamond a lot, because it's a pretty good, that's my favorite drawing of Crazy Diamond by Araki. It's beautiful on itself. But then it finished off at The World versus Killer Queen. I had nothing really much to say on that. That's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna sway everyone's guidance on that. I have my choices. You guys have yours. You guys pick on that. But for the second bracket, this was pretty crazy. I'm going to be looking at results first for the top 8. GER is 1, King Crimson is 2, Tusk is 3, Metallica is 4. You guys, wow. Metallica had ended up being the 4th most voted for, not most voted for stand, but it ended up as top 4 out of all of these stands possible. Out of a 64 stand bracket, Metallica had ended up being top 4. That's amazing, and that's so crazy. Stone Free has 5. You have a main JoJo stand coming in at 5th after. This is so crazy. Dirty Deeds done dirt cheap. 6. Gold Experience is 7. Weather Report is 8. Diver Down is 9. And Made in Heaven as 10. I would have thought Made in Heaven would have made it further on, but going back to the bracket here, looking at where Made in Heaven had to fight, that makes sense. So Made in Heaven had to go against Tusk. That's the only reason why you would see that happening. That was so unfortunate. But man, what's really unfortunate, Soft and Wet going against Tusk so early on. That's pretty crazy. And Boku no Rizamo Kitekure having to go against D4C and getting bodied. D4C against Man in the Mirror. I didn't think that Man in the Mirror held that much of a chance, honestly, because D4C has such a great design in comparison. And the only thing you really have for Man in the Mirror is like the stand user and the name reference, aside from that. But wow, Tusk really made it up this far. And for Metallica's side, Metallica had taken out a lot of heavy hitters, man. It was crazy. So Metallica took out, in a silent way, Metallica had took out Diver Down. And Metallica was the reason why Stone Free, it wasn't Stone Free versus Diver Down, which would have been crazy because, you know, the whole shipping couples and all that shit. And what's also crazy about that, if Metallica was beat up by Diver Down, it would have been Stone Free versus Diver Down and D4C versus Tusk. Like those two things, they're just two people that you go ahead and pair up. And that's pretty wild in itself. But then you, on the GE side, GE beating out C-Moon, but after that you have King Crimson just running right through against a lot of these stands that really didn't stand a chance in comparison. And King Crimson just took out Gold Experience, which I was surprised. The people were just like, yeah, no, just take out King Crimson all alone. And progressing on through, you had, I think Gold Experience Requiem had like the toughest bracket area, because you had Mandem, you had Paisley Park, you had Weather Report, and he had ended up coming out of all of that, which is so crazy to see that, because I would have thought that people are like, oh man, I'm really tired of seeing Gold Experience Requiem everywhere, but people still like it. That's what I'm seeing, because I told you guys that this is not a power bracket. This is just due to people's opinions, and this is your guys' own personal choice, which was really interesting because I did not see a lot of Heiya. Heiya didn't even make it past the first round, so you guys puzzle me, man. You guys make me think that. Well, no, Heiya did make it past the first round. He beat Tattoo You, but after that, Heiya got taken out by Man in the Mirror. I thought with how many people meme Heiya and how much you guys love to talk about it, for some reason you guys didn't support it. So I guess the memers don't win here. Which is so stupid. Which is so stupid, but it's pretty funny to me, honestly, because you would think that they would show support for something that's talked about so much. But I guess he's just a meme. But man, D4C making it out and fighting Tusk, dying. So then after you have Tusk and Metallica versus GR, King Crimson, and it made it up. And it ended up best stand bracket, a canon fight. You have GER versus King Crimson, and you guys can go ahead and pick that, whichever you want. But remember, again, design-wise, or all opinion choices or whatever, you guys can go ahead and pick for whatever reason possible. It doesn't bother me, but yeah, it's just It's just crazy. It's just so crazy that we got here. I thought that it was gonna be to be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be a double cannon bracket with GER and King Crimson versus Crazy Diamond and Killer Queen, but apparently just you guys really do like the world more than Crazy Diamond. Personally, I don't. I like Crazy Diamond way more than the world. Way more than the world, but you have the world versus Killer Queen. That's pretty crazy on its own, but I guess, yeah, you can go ahead with that. Anything else I have to say? Geb, I'm so happy that Geb made it out to that far. Geb did pretty well. For any other ones, I can't really think of anything else that I'd like to say. I guess Koichi did well with, well, not Koichi, it's just the stands. It's Echoes did well. Cream did well for its being that odd. I didn't know that people would really like it like that, but I guess you guys do like Power apparently. Catch the Rainbow made it past the first stand, but lost to Kiss. Personally, I would have made Catch the Rainbow beat Kiss. I don't know, but I don't know. You guys might like Kiss more. I personally, I just don't. This is not me. And I said that I would make a final bracket with me doing this all, but just going this over alone, I'm going to finalize it with the last one because this one is going to have, we're going to have the final poll for you guys to pick between. And I'm going to be putting that in the community tab, so you guys look out for that. I understand that sometimes YouTube sub boxes might be broken. Put on the notification bell for you guys to be seeing these videos. But I really do want you guys to make sure you guys check out the community tab because I'm going to be putting the link there for you guys to do the final poll between GR, or I guess between whoever wins, GR or King Crimson, or the world or whatever, Killer Queen. Well, there's only gonna be one contender from each side, so it's gonna be either any of those 4 combinations or whatever, and that's gonna end up being that. So I'm gonna be putting the poll there. Remember that. Leave the notification bell on, or turn it on, I guess, because it's going to be odd if you guys don't get this video. The video doesn't get it to you and all that. That'd be upsetting for me because we actually got this far out. 65,000 votes on one side, and another, let me find the actual number for it, another 47,000 votes on the other side. It's crazy. But man, I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been a crazy bracket. Can't wait to see who's going to be the #1 stand over all stands. Or at least I'm going to be doing this once we finish the, what is it called, JoJolion, because I'm going to make another, because I didn't put all the JoJolion stands in there, obviously, because we need to make room. I had to cut those stands out. I had to cut a little majority of it. I only had like 3 stands from JoJolion. But once JoJolion does finish, I will be sure to run this back along with other series that I've done with just a whole redo on it, because we finally have another part that's finished and we can progress through all together as a community. So there you guys go. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out and Godspeed.